I want to get on this video today and speak to y'all about why I feel like you don't want it enough. And I feel like one of the things about life is we often trick ourselves into playing victim, as far as why we aren't where we should be, why things aren't working out or working in our favor, or why we simply may not be getting the results that we want out of life. And it boils down to nothing more besides the fact that you just simply don't want it enough. When I was going through my transitional periods in my life and I was trying to put the pieces together as far as what I was going to do, one thing that I realized is that me believing that I was doing enough was the bare minimum for what was actually required to attain that level of success that I wanted. Really take the time to really digest that and take that in, because you may feel like you're putting in a decent amount of effort or making sufficient progress, but you're going to have to amp it up a notch in order to actually see valid results. And that was something that always stuck with me, because you will never really know your breaking points or your limits until you've been pushed to them. You'll never really know what you're capable of doing until you put yourself in a position to challenge yourself, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically. But the whole purpose of this video is to do nothing more than hold you accountable and to let you know that just because you may feel like you're doing enough doesn't mean that you're actually doing enough. Do 10 times that. If you're waking up at 5 a.m. and you're grinding or you're doing what you're supposed to do, turn it up a little bit. You may not have to wake up earlier, but add something into your schedule that just puts you one step closer to that overall end goal that you may be trying to reach. But overall, you really just need to lock in for what you want. And when I say lock in, I don't mean 1 foot in, 1 foot out, man. I feel like oftentimes in life what we do is, we say that we want something. We spend all these years going to school, coasting through college, and just getting by, not necessarily giving ourselves the best chance possible in order to be successful. And what this does is it allows us to grow older, and we realize that we've been stagnant, we've been complacent, we haven't necessarily been doing as much as we could be doing in order to see the results that we want to see. And I don't even feel like that's something that is worth it in the long run, because what ends up happening is you get to a point in your life where you realize like things just simply aren't working out. The life that you planned or you had for yourself, you're not there. And it's because of nothing more than the fact that you simply are not doing enough. 50-50 is not going to cut it for where you want to end up. 1 foot in and 1 foot out doing things occasionally is not going to make you successful. I promise you. You're going to have to really lock in, cut off all distractions, cut off all people that aren't providing you value, cut off anything that really does not serve you in the way that's going to help better you in terms of success that you want to reach. And I'll never forget this, man. And I say this a couple times. I said it a couple times in a few of my videos, but the one time, probably the one and only time where I was 100% dialed in and locked in was when I moved to Houston. I've never experienced a time where I moved away from my family, where I moved away from my friends, where I mentally told myself I wasn't going to go make new friends. I wasn't going to be out. I was just going to go to the gym. I was going to be consistent with dropping these videos, and I was just going to see where, God took me. And during that 3-4 week period, I probably had the most growth mentally than I've ever had in my entire life. Like, just think about how insane that is. When you really train your mind and set your mind on clear goals and expectations for yourself, you can do anything that you set your mind to. So I just feel like it's very important that we stop lying to ourselves. If you're in a position right now where you're not getting what you want out of life, it doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. This is not the time to play victim. This is not the time to blame the way that you're raised for being in a position that you may be in right now, because what is that going to do for you? What is blaming somebody going to do for you? What is pointing the finger at the next person? What problem is that going to solve? And I don't know about y'all, but I'm all about solving problems in my life. Any little thing that I can adjust or fix, you got to always look at yourself first and take accountability. So therefore, the first thing that you do is look at yourself in the mirror. What am I doing right now that I can change? If I'm doing good, what can I add to really boost up and get me to that next level? Because that's what I feel like is the clear difference between someone who's going to be good and okay and then someone who's great. Is somebody who's going to be good and okay may actually work hard. They may do the things that the average person doesn't do, but they may not go that extra mile. And the person that's going to be great is the person that's willing to go that extra mile, the person that's willing to get themselves out of their comfort zone and do the things that they may be afraid to do. Not even worried about being judged, not even worried about what people may have to say, but just so locked in and dialed in on where they want to be that nothing else matters at that point. That's how bad you have to want it. And there's always going to be sacrifices that need to be made, and partying for the most part is one of them. And this really always stuck to me, man, because I was kind of raised in a generation, I guess you could say, where, everybody let a party, everybody liked to have fun and go out on the weekends. So this version of giving up partying really put me in a state of mind to be able to sacrifice the things that you may value at that very moment. And not only just those certain sacrifices that are going to help you get to that next level, but you train yourself mentally into believing that the necessities that society put on you, the things that we feel like we just have to have or have to do, aren't even a thing. You can do things that everybody is not doing. You could be working hard all of those times or all of those hours that people are partying. You could be putting in a little more work to try to reach your goals while everybody is outside, which does nothing but put you ahead of them. It puts you ahead of the people that you may potentially be competing against. So really just taking that in, man, and realizing that you're going to have to make some sacrifices along the journey. Even if you aren't somebody that party, you may have to give up playing the game. You may have to give up hanging around friends and just being in certain environments that don't serve you. But there are certain sacrifices that are always going to have to be made. You're going to have to give something in order to receive, always. And that's just in everything, relationships and life. In order to get anything back, you have to give first. Like, that's the way that I perceive love. That's the way that I perceive life. You always have to serve. You always have to provide people value before you try to receive anything in return. So just taking that into account, man, really just put you in a headspace where you realize that it's okay. It's okay to be without the things that are normal for you to have. It's okay for you to be without people that may have always been in your life up until this point. But what's not okay is allowing time to pass and waking up and realizing that it's just not going to work out for you. I wasted so much time, and now, man, it's getting too late. Now I got a family. Now I might just potentially have to settle. I'm telling you, man, today I woke up feeling so enthusiastic and good about the life that I'm providing and building for myself. And this is one thing that I learned, and it may actually benefit y'all, and you could try it if you want. But the way that I process things and the way that my body works, if I am not learning every day, if I'm not growing or building mentally, I feel stagnant and I feel like I'm missing out on something. I don't know why. That's just the way that my body and my mind works. So, last night I took some time to learn about, real estate investments, compound real estate investments, more so along the lines of like cryptocurrency and stuff like that. And it made me feel real good. And that's when I had processed this concept of, always just being in that type of growth mindset, and it'll always help you. So really just taking that into account, putting yourself in a position to always build and always grow will definitely get you to that next level. And the last thing I want for y'all is to go through an awakening or a lock-in moment where it's just too late, like I said before. And I've witnessed this with my own mom. It's starting to rain a little bit, so if y'all see that, man, excuse it. It stay raining. It's been raining for like the last week. I've been trying to get out here and make these videos for y'all, but I went through this lock-in, or I witnessed my mom go through this lock-in or awakening moment. And what it did to me, man, is it really touched me. It made me realize that, one, time is limited, and two, I don't want to be that person that wakes up when I'm 50 like she did and finally decides to do something with my life, or finally decide to make certain adjustments. And I don't want that to be the case for any of y'all. So if you're in a position right now where you're trying to figure things out and you're trying to put the pieces together right now, no matter what resources you have available, you just need to start. No matter how things may seem, you just got to lock in, because if you are not, then you simply do not want it enough. You got to ask yourself, how bad do you really want it? Eric Thomas spoke about it before. He said something along the lines of, if you want it to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. And just think about any time that we may have been in a pool fully submerged in water. We did anything in our power to actually get a breath of fresh air. Therefore, you got to want success as bad as that. You got to really want success as bad as you want to breathe in. And it may sound crazy, but at the end of the day, you're only viewed as crazy until you make it. Once you actually beat all odds and you do the things that a lot of people just don't do, then they consider you genius. And one thing that you won't be able to ever take away is people's opinions and viewpoints on things. So this isn't even something that should really matter to you, because whether you're doing good or bad, people are always going to have something to say. People are always probably going to view you a certain way just based on your ability to be able to go out and take risk. But you have to understand that nobody can stop you but you. Nobody can really hold you back but yourself. And the way that I like to view it is you always have to think that it's you versus you. Never go out in this world and compete with anybody. Don't be in competition with the next man, with the next woman, because they have not walked in your shoes and you have not walked in theirs. You don't know what they've been through. They do not know what you've been through. So therefore, there is no need for you to ever compete with anybody. But when you put yourself in a position to allow it to be you versus you, you're faced with battling your own challenges in your life. You're not worried about the next person. You're not worried about what the next person may think. But because you have things within you that you're trying to fix or that you're trying to adjust, and nothing else matters at that point. So therefore, why should you spend your time allowing the next person to have that much control over you? It is not going to be worth it. But if you're sitting back right now, if you're wasting your days and you're talking about all of your dreams and hopes for the future, but you're not working at this very moment, I'm telling you right now, it probably will not work out. And it simply will not work out because you don't want it enough. People that want to be successful are waking up, handling their business, even if they don't have what they think they need to have. I remember at times, I used to be in high school when I first got my job. I used to walk every day to work, a couple miles, probably like four or 5 miles to work, to build and to put myself in a position to get reliable transportation simply because I wanted it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have similar stories or maybe even had it worse. So therefore, there is no excuse. When you want something, you will do it and make it happen by any means necessary. So stop lying to yourself. And that's something that I want to emphasize the importance of. Like, we got to stop being delusional, man. We got to stop being delusional. If you say you want to be successful, but you're not doing anything to acquire that form of success, then you are wasting your time. You are wasting not only your time, but your energy, effort, everything on that perception of what success may look like to you, because you are not doing anything to acquire it. Stop lying to yourself and put in the work to get it done. I ain't made one video trying to pamper nobody, because this is not a pampering channel. I'm not going to baby y'all. I'm going to always keep it real and let y'all know that things is exactly what it is. Your life is a reflection of the work that you put in and the decisions that you make on a daily basis. So if you're not making the best decisions, then you more than likely will not live the best life. And that doesn't mean that you can't make mistakes. That just means that you have to do good more times than not. So don't trick yourself into believing that you're going to get somewhere by doing nothing. And you shouldn't even want to be anywhere if you didn't necessarily earn it, if that makes sense. So really just work hard, man. Take the time today to be great. As you can see, it's starting to rain a little bit, but very beautiful. Y'all probably hear the birds in the back. Be great today. Don't allow the enemy to win the battle over your life. It's your life, and this is really the only life that you get, as far as we know. So really just embrace it. Do all the work that you can do to acquire the type of lifestyle that you want, but you have to make some adjustments in order to receive that form of success that you want, and you need to start now. But if you made it to the end of the video, man, I just want to say thank y'all so much. I love y'all. I know I've been a little inconsistent lately, but it's been over a year now, man. I ain't went anywhere. Through the ups and downs, through the trials of life, the hardships, man, I've been here. Through times where I ain't felt like doing it, where I may not have been getting the results that I want, even maybe a little stagnant like now, I'm still here, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all once again, and y'all have a blessed day. Y'all keep working, keep grinding, and blessings to y'all, man. But I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.